The savanna is resting tonight, the way a blanket rests when it finally finds the shape of the bed. A pale moon hangs above the open land, and everything underneath it seems to soften. Grass tips turning silver, sand looking powdered and smooth, and distant shrubs standing quietly like patient little silhouettes. The air is warm in a gentle way, not loud, not sharp. It drifts rather than moves, and if you listen closely, you can almost hear the landscape doing something that looks suspiciously like exhaling. Somewhere out there, the night is full of small, calm routines. Not dramatic routines, not big headline routines. More like, I'm just going to quietly exist and do my tiny tasks. Routines. Honestly, it's a beautiful life philosophy. The rabbits would be excellent life coaches if they cared about schedules, which they absolutely do not. Even the trees look like they're practicing deep breathing, and if you've had a long day, you might quietly admire them for it. No apps, no reminders, no motivational quotes. Just standing there, being a tree. Effortless, slightly smug. We'll forgive them. Now, as you settle in, let your shoulders loosen, let your jaw soften, let your hands rest like they've finally been told they can clock out. Welcome to Sleepy Nature Sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. If this place feels peaceful to you, you're always welcome back. Think of it like a quiet campfire in the distance, warm, steady, never crowded. No membership card required, only your presence, and no one asks you to make small talk. The crickets handle that part. And if you'd like to support the channel, it helps us keep the night lights low and the nature facts cozy, like a little blanket folded neatly at the edge of the wilderness. Tonight, we drift toward a gentle story in a wide, sandy world, a place where the grass grows in calm patches, where the wind moves like a slow brush stroke, and where small animals live by soft habits rather than noisy plans. We're following the quiet rhythm of savanna rabbits in desert life, not as a tale of struggle, but as a slow portrait of calm choices, how they rest, how they listen, how they move through their evening with simple wisdom. So let the moonlit savanna come closer in your imagination. Let the sounds grow soft around the edges. And as you breathe in and out, allow your thoughts to wander gently like a warm breeze that doesn't need to go anywhere at all. In the savanna at night, even the smallest leaf seems to have its own quiet opinion about stillness. It doesn't wave, it doesn't shout. It simply rests where it is and lets the air pass through like a slow visitor. The moonlight lays itself across the ground in pale ribbons. Grass tips glow softly as if each blade is holding a tiny secret, and the sand, warm from the day, begins to cool with a patient kind of grace, the way a cup of tea cools when no one is rushing it. Somewhere nearby, the night makes its gentle sounds, a soft insect chorus, the faint hush of wind, and the occasional delicate rustle that could be a branch, or could be something small and furry, moving like a quiet thought. And in a place like this, a question arrives without effort. Not a big question. Not the kind that makes your forehead crease or your mind start pacing. Just a simple, nature-shaped question. One that fits easily in your palm. Here it is. How do small creatures know when to be still and when to gently move? Not in a dramatic way, not as a life or death decision, more like a soft sense, a timing, a quiet inner weather report. Because in the desert savanna, stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is a choice, a kind of listening, and movement is not urgency. Movement is simply drifting from one calm need to the next. If you think about it, many animals seem to have an elegant relationship with energy. They don't spend it like loose change. They don't throw it around like confetti. They keep it close, like something precious. Meanwhile, humans sometimes spend energy the way we spend time scrolling, without noticing it's happening until suddenly it's midnight and we're emotionally invested in a stranger's kitchen organization system. Out here, the rabbits don't do that. They're not worried about productivity. They aren't building personal brands. They are simply being rabbits, soft, observant, and quietly excellent at the art of doing just enough. And tonight, as you rest, you don't have to answer the question perfectly. You don't have to solve it. You can just let it float nearby like a small lantern. How do small creatures know when to be still and when to gently move? Maybe it has something to do with the air, the temperature, the scent of the land cooling, the hush between one insect call and the next. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe they don't know in words at all. Maybe they simply feel the rhythm of the world and allow themselves to match it. So, as you breathe in and out, let that question settle beside you, softly, quietly, like a leaf resting on sand, doing nothing at all, and doing it beautifully. The world we're entering tonight is wide and softly textured, a savanna that leans toward desert, where grass grows in calm clusters and sandy soil shows through like quiet skin beneath a thin blanket. The day here can be bright and warm, but the night arrives like a slow hand lowering the volume. Heat loosens its grip, the air becomes gentler, and the land cools in layers, first the surface, then deeper, as if the earth is tucking itself in. If you could walk here barefoot, very gently, very carefully, you might notice how the ground feels different from step to step, a patch of sand that gives slightly under your weight, a firmer place where roots hold the soil, a dry leaf that turns with a soft whisper. Nothing sharp, nothing rushed, just a landscape full of small, quiet textures. And the sounds. The sounds are simple. A steady insect song that feels like a slow, shimmering curtain. Wind brushing the grass like fingers combing hair. Sometimes a far-off call, distant, unbothered, as if the night is simply reminding itself it exists. In this kind of place, life becomes very good at patience. The climate encourages it. Rain may come in certain seasons, and when it does, it's welcomed like an old friend who doesn't visit often, but always brings something meaningful. Plants here don't waste their effort. They grow in ways that make sense for long stretches of dryness, roots that seek deeper moisture, leaves that keep water close, and a general attitude of, I will thrive, but quietly. Even the sunlight leaves behind a rhythm. Day warms the ground, and night cools it again, like a gentle pendulum. That daily swing creates little pockets of change, subtle shifts in temperature and scent that many animals can feel more clearly than we can. And now, Imagine the savannah at this hour. The moon has risen. The sky is open and dark, dotted with small, steady stars. The grass is silvered at the tips. The sand looks smooth, like it's been carefully brushed. This is a place of low, patient movement, and somewhere within it are the rabbits, not the storybook kind with perfect little waistcoats. These rabbits do not own pocket watches. They do not worry about being late. They are not attending tea parties. They are simply animals shaped by their home, built for listening, for resting, for moving gently when the moment feels right. Tonight, we'll follow their quiet routines the way you might follow the path of a slow breeze, without pushing it, without chasing it, just noticing. And as you settle deeper into comfort, let the setting become familiar. Let it feel safe. A wide open night, soft air, cooling sand, and a world that doesn't ask you to hurry. Somewhere near a small rise in the sand, a rabbit pauses. Not abruptly, not dramatically, just pauses, as if it has remembered the world is quiet and intends to keep it that way. In moonlight, the rabbit's outline looks gentle. Rounded ears, compact body, fur that blends into the pale earth tones. And the whiskers. The whiskers catch the light like fine threads, barely there, but constantly aware. If you've never thought about whiskers as a kind of quiet instrument, tonight is a good night to begin. A rabbit's whiskers help it sense the world up close, the shape of an opening, the nearness of a stem of grass, the edge of a burrow entrance. They're like soft feelers, a delicate way of reading the space without needing to see every detail. And in a desert savanna night, that matters, because the night is not empty, it's simply dim, and dimness invites gentle sensing. The rabbit leans forward slightly. Its nose moves in tiny, calm motions. Rabbits explore the world through scent, the way we explore a bookstore through wandering, slowly, curiously, letting the next thing reveal itself. The air carries quiet information, the dryness of dust, the green trace of grass, the faint, earthy warmth of sand that held sunlight hours ago. And the rabbit's breathing stays soft. It doesn't overdo anything. It doesn't panic. It doesn't rehearse tomorrow. It simply sniffs and chooses and remains calm. If rabbits gave advice, it might be, do less, but do it well. Or maybe, pause more often. You're not a machine. Though I suspect rabbits would never actually say this out loud. They'd just look at you gently and continue nibbling. And speaking of nibbling, tonight's first quiet routine begins close to the ground. The rabbit lowers its head toward a small patch of grass. Not a feast, not a buffet, just a modest little offering of green. A few bites, a slow chew, a soft pause between mouthfuls. This is not hurried feeding. It's patient, careful, almost thoughtful. As if the rabbit is saying, yes, this will do, and that is enough. And as you breathe in and out, you can let your own body borrow that feeling, not needing more, not chasing anything, just a soft awareness, a quiet moment, a gentle moonlit nibble of calm. In the cooler hours of night, the savanna feels kinder. The air settles into a comfortable temperature, and the ground releases its heat slowly, not all at once, just a gentle letting go, like a warm hand easing away. And in this softened world, rabbits often choose to feed. not because they're busy, not because they're ticking off tasks, simply because this is the rhythm that fits the land. During the day, heat can be heavy. Plants hold themselves still. Shadows hide under shrubs, and animals, when they can, rest. But at night, the world opens again, quiet and breathable. So the rabbits step out into their small routines, like someone wandering into a kitchen for a calm midnight snack. Not the chaotic kind where you eat 3 cookies standing up and regret everything, more like a peaceful snack with intention. A rabbit's diet here can include grasses, tender shoots, leaves, and whatever small green things offer moisture and nutrients. They often nibble close to the ground, taking small bites that don't look like much, but add up gently over time. And there's a softness to the way they eat. Nibble, pause, chew, pause. They don't rush the process. They don't multitask. They aren't chewing while checking email. A rabbit would never check email. A rabbit would look at email once and immediately dig a burrow to escape it forever. Instead, feeding is a quiet conversation between the rabbit and the landscape. The rabbit takes what is available. The grass sways lightly in return. The wind passes through both, uninterested in drama. And this slow, careful feeding has another calm logic to it. In a dry environment, moisture matters. Plants can be tiny sources of water, and a rabbit's body is shaped by this place, built to conserve, to use resources carefully, to live in a rhythm that makes sense over long stretches of dryness. If you listen closely, you might hear the smallest sounds: the faint snip of grass, the soft grinding chew, a tiny shift of paws in sand. It's almost like the rabbit is eating quietly out of politeness, as if the night is a library and the rabbit respects the rules. And perhaps that's one reason watching them feels so soothing. They live in a way that doesn't feel noisy. They eat without taking too much. They pause often. They remain aware, but not tense. And as you rest, you can borrow that pace. Let your thoughts nibble slowly at one gentle idea. Then pause. Let your mind chew softly. Then release. Nothing to solve, nothing to chase. Just the quiet art of evening feeding, a small creature taking small bites beneath a wide sky, in a world that moves slowly enough for your breathing to feel perfectly at home. If you ever want to see listening made visible, look at a rabbit's ears. They don't just sit there like decorations. They tilt, they swivel, they pause. In the moonlit savanna, a rabbit may look still, but it is quietly receiving the world, as if the night is sending gentle messages through the air. A rabbit's ears are wonderfully designed for this. Large, mobile, sensitive, they help the rabbit notice subtle sounds, wind shifting, insects changing their chorus, a small scuff in sand. But tonight, we won't turn those sounds into drama. Tonight, they're simply information, the kind that helps a small creature feel oriented. The rabbit lifts its head slightly. Its ears turn, first one way, then the other, like slow satellite dishes tracking soft signals. If you've ever sat in bed and listened to the quiet sounds of your own home, the hum of a fan, the distant traffic, the tiny creaks of a building settling, you already understand this kind of listening. It's not alarm, it's presence. And presence can be surprisingly restful. A rabbit can hear in a way that helps it decide when to move, when to pause, when to continue feeding. It doesn't need to overthink. It doesn't need to narrate the moment. It simply gathers sensory clues, then returns to stillness. Humans often do the opposite. We hear one small sound and immediately invent a whole story. A creak. Is the house haunted? Is the refrigerator planning something? Meanwhile, the rabbit's ears would simply turn and go. Sound noted. Life continues. And there is something soothing about that. The rabbit's ears also help with heat. They can release warmth, like little radiators in the night air, which means these ears are doing multiple jobs at once and still managing to look elegant. Imagine being that productive and still looking peaceful. We can only aspire. But tonight, we don't need to aspire to anything. We can just observe. The rabbit stands in a patch of grass. Its ears move gently, then settle. Its body relaxes again, as if the listening itself has been enough. And as you breathe in and out, you can let your own inner ears settle too. You don't have to chase every sound. You don't have to solve every thought. Let the world be a soft background. Let your mind be a quiet field, and let the rabbit show you how to listen without effort, how to be aware, and still be calm. As the night deepens, the sand begins to cool, not suddenly, not like a switch turning off, more like a slow sigh spreading through the ground. And when a rabbit moves across this sand, it leaves behind something gentle. Soft footprints, light marks that hold the shape of a moment. The rabbit's paws are made for this landscape. They step with a kind of quiet precision, pressing just enough to move forward, but not so much that the earth feels disturbed. Each step is small. A pause. Another step, a slow rhythm. If you look closely at a trail of rabbit prints, you might notice how they appear in pairs and patterns, a little signature of movement written softly into the sand. But the sand does not cling to the story forever. Wind may blur it, time may smooth it, and eventually the ground returns to its quiet blankness, ready for the next gentle passage. There's something comforting about that. A footprint is proof that someone passed by, but it doesn't demand attention. It doesn't insist on being remembered. It simply exists for a while, then fades. Rabbits move this way often, weaving between grasses and shrubs, traveling short distances with calm intention. They may visit familiar feeding spots, pause near cover, or drift toward a burrow, and none of it looks hurried. The rabbit is not trying to get ahead. It is simply moving through its environment like a leaf carried by a slow current. Sometimes the rabbit stops and sits very still, not frozen, just resting in place. A small animal shaped like softness, holding stillness with quiet skill. In the distance, insects continue their steady song. The wind brushes the grass again, and the rabbit's footprints wait behind it like a gentle memory. You might imagine the rabbit thinking, I was here, now I am here. No commentary, no emotional spiral. Meanwhile, humans sometimes think, I was here, and I should have done 10 things differently. And also, what if everyone is secretly mad at me? The rabbit does not do this. The rabbit is free. And as you rest, you can be a little more rabbit-like, just for tonight. Let your thoughts leave soft footprints and let them fade. Let each worry be a mark in sand that the wind can smooth away. You don't have to hold on to everything. You don't have to keep the trail sharp. Just follow the slow pace. Step, pause, breathe, pause. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. It's simply walking through its own savanna. Let it wander softly. Let it settle again. In the cooling sand of this quiet night, even your thoughts can learn to become light, leaving only gentle prints, then returning peacefully to stillness. Somewhere in the savanna's sandy folds, there's a doorway you might miss if you weren't looking softly. Not a wooden door, of course. No hinges, no welcome mat. Just a small opening near the base of a shrub, half shadowed, half blended into the earth, as if the ground decided to keep a secret, but didn't mind if you gently noticed. This is the idea of home in rabbit life, a burrow or a sheltered space or a tucked-away place where the world feels quieter. In desert-leaning landscapes, shade matters, not as drama, just as comfort. During warm hours, a burrow can hold cooler air. At night, it can feel steady and calm, a space that doesn't change too quickly. And rabbits, in their quiet wisdom, appreciate steadiness. The rabbit pauses near the entrance. Its nose moves in tiny, careful motions, reading the air like a slow page. The scent of sand, the faint plant smell of the shrub above, the deeper, darker scent of earth inside. And then, gently, the rabbit slips closer. Burrows are not only about hiding, they're also about temperature, rest, and the simple relief of being enclosed. A place with softer light. A place where sound arrives muted, like it has taken off its shoes. If you've ever stepped into a quiet room after a loud day, closed the door, leaned against it, and felt your whole nervous system go, "Oh, thank you," then you understand the burrow. And rabbits often keep these places familiar. Paths become known. Entrances become remembered. The landscape becomes a map of calm options. The rabbit's body lowers slightly as it approaches. Its ears tilt. The whiskers brush the edge of the opening. It's a gentle check-in. Is this space still safe? Still cool? Still right? And the night answers with silence. Not empty silence, but soft silence, full of permission. Sometimes rabbits will rest near the entrance, half inside, half out, as if they enjoy having both worlds at once, the open air and the enclosed hush. A little like leaving one foot outside the blanket just to balance the universe. And as you breathe in and out, you might imagine your own version of a burrow, a place in your mind where you can soften, a quiet interior room, no tasks, no bright lights, just the dim comfort of being held by stillness. Tonight, the rabbit shows us something simple. Home doesn't have to be large, it just has to feel gentle. And that feeling can begin right here, as your body settles and your thoughts drift closer to rest. The sand keeps memories, not the kind you tell stories about, but the kind you feel. It remembers sunlight and warmth. It remembers night and coolness. And it changes slowly, like a calm mood shifting across a long evening. In this savanna desert blend, temperature is one of the quiet rulers. Not a harsh ruler, more like a gentle conductor, lifting and lowering the energy of the landscape. During the day, the ground can warm. At night it cools again, releasing that stored heat gradually, as if the earth is sharing a last soft ember of daytime. Rabbits live with this rhythm. They don't argue with it. They don't try to outsmart it. They simply move in a way that matches it. When the sand cools, the surface becomes more comfortable for small paws. Air feels easier, and the rabbit can travel, nibble, pause, and rest with less strain. Imagine the rabbit sitting on the ground now. Its fur touches sand that is no longer hot, just gently warm, like a pillow still holding a little heat from your head. And in that warmth, the rabbit's body settles. Breathing stays quiet. Ears move once, twice, then relax. The sand beneath it is not perfectly still. Tiny insects may travel through it. A faint breeze may lift grains and let them fall again, but nothing is frantic. Everything is slow enough to be kind. And when a rabbit lies down close to the ground, it is also close to the land's steady temperature. The earth becomes a calm partner, helping regulate comfort. We humans often forget the ground has a temperature story. We step on floors, sidewalks, tiles, and we don't think, how is the earth feeling today? We just demand that it hold us up. Rabbits don't demand. They negotiate gently by choosing the right time, the right place, the right shade. There's something quietly wise about living that way. The sand cools, the rabbit rests, the wind moves lightly through grass, and as you rest, you can imagine the coolness traveling through your own body, starting at your feet, moving up your legs, loosening your hips, softening your stomach, settling your chest. The kind of calm that doesn't rush in. It arrives slowly, like night air seeping through an open window. If your thoughts feel warm and busy, let the sand's slow temperature teach them something. Cool can be gentle, quiet can be enough, and change can happen without effort. Tonight, the earth cools at its own pace, and you can too. Above the savanna, the sky is open, wide enough to make your mind feel less crowded. Stars appear in steady clusters, not blinking for attention, just quietly being stars. And beneath them, small animals move in patterns full of pauses. A rabbit's life includes many pauses, not because it is uncertain, not because it is worried, but because pausing is simply part of how it lives well. The rabbit steps, then stops. It sits for a moment, ears tilting, nose gently testing the air. Then it steps again, unhurried. It's a lovely rhythm. Move, pause, breathe, pause. If we live like that, we might need fewer motivational speeches. We might also be much better at naps. The rabbit's pauses are not empty. They are full of sensing. In the dim light, the rabbit relies on scent, hearing, and a kind of gentle awareness of space. Even the rabbit's eyes are suited for low light, able to notice shapes and movement without needing bright clarity. But again, nothing here is about intensity. It's about softness. The rabbit doesn't scan for danger. It simply notices its world, the way you might notice the sound of rain or the feeling of your blanket settling around you. And in between those pauses, the rabbit returns to simple actions: a slow nibble, a short drift forward, a quiet grooming touch. Pauses are where the rabbit seems most like the night itself, still, calm, and unbothered. Sometimes in those pauses, the rabbit's body looks almost like a small stone warmed by the day, quietly present, quietly whole. And you might think, what would it be like to pause like that? Not because you have to, but because you're allowed. Many of us move through our days like we're being chased by invisible deadlines. Even our thoughts jog. They do little sprints from one worry to the next. But tonight, the rabbit offers a different pace. You can pause. You can rest. You can let your mind stop keeping watch over everything. The stars aren't asking anything from you. The grass isn't grading you. The wind is not disappointed in your productivity. So take a slow breath in and a slow breath out, and imagine your thoughts becoming spaced out like stars, not clumped together, not crashing into each other, just gently scattered in a wide, quiet sky. Small pauses are not gaps, they are comfort. And tonight, as the rabbit pauses under starlight, you can pause too, and feel how peaceful it is to do nothing at all, and do it softly. A rabbit's fur is like a small landscape of its own, soft, layered, made for blending into earth tones and moonlit grass. And caring for that fur is not rushed, it's a ritual, a quiet routine that feels almost like meditation. The rabbit sits, folding itself into a comfortable shape. Its paws come up slowly, touching its face with careful tenderness. A gentle stroke over the nose. A soft rub near the cheeks. If you've ever washed your face at the end of the day, feeling the water cool your skin and signal it's time to rest, then you understand what this grooming might mean. For rabbits, grooming helps keep fur clean, remove dust, and maintain comfort. In dry landscapes, dust can be common, sand and fine particles drifting into everything. So the rabbit takes a little time, not a dramatic amount of time, just enough. A few strokes, a few licks, a pause, and as it grooms, it looks peaceful. Not busy, not productive, just quietly attentive. There's something very calming about watching an animal take care of itself without guilt. No inner voice saying, "You should be doing something else right now." No multitasking, no rushing. The rabbit simply tends to itself as if it is worthy of care, which is an excellent message, honestly. A rabbit would be a gentle therapist, but it would charge in carrots, and it would cancel appointments for naps. Sometimes, rabbits also groom in social settings, but tonight, we stay with this single quiet creature, a small body under a wide sky, cleaning its fur as the night cools. Each motion is repetitive, soothing, like waves doing the same thing over and over without ever getting bored. And somehow, it works. The rabbit becomes calmer, the fur becomes smoother, the moment becomes softer. As you listen, you can let your own body learn from this ritual. Maybe you don't need to fix anything tonight. Maybe you only need to gently tend. Relax your forehead, let your eyelids feel heavy, unclench your hands. A small act of care. The rabbit finishes a few strokes and pauses, sitting still again. Its breathing remains quiet. Its ears tilt once, then settle. And in that stillness, you can feel the message. Rest is not a reward. Rest is a rhythm. Grooming is not vanity. It's comfort, and comfort is allowed. So let the rabbit's gentle ritual become a soft invitation to be kind to yourself, to slow down, and to drift closer to sleep. One quiet, caring motion at a time. In a landscape that leans toward desert, moisture feels like a quiet treasure. Not a treasure chest, not glittering gold, more like a single cool drop on a leaf, noticed only by those who live close to the ground. At night, as temperatures soften, Tiny amounts of dew may appear on some plants, not everywhere, not always, but enough to matter. And rabbits, with their gentle attentiveness, can take advantage of these small gifts. Imagine the rabbit moving toward a low stem of grass. The grass is thin, slightly bowed. Near its tip, a bead of moisture rests, so small it could be mistaken for a star that fell and decided to nap. The rabbit nibbles slowly, and with the plant comes a hint of coolness. A tiny sip of water held inside green life. In dry air, that coolness feels soothing. Rabbits also get moisture from the plants they eat, and their bodies are shaped for conserving water, holding it carefully, using it wisely, living in ways that respect the dryness. It's not about struggle, it's about fit, a quiet match between body and place. The air around the rabbit is dry, but not harsh tonight, just light, open, clean. If you've ever breathed in night air and felt it clear your mind a little, you'll know this feeling. The rabbit lifts its head after nibbling. Its nose moves gently. The scent of the plant lingers. The coolness sits softly in its mouth like a calm memory. There's something tender about how the rabbit receives these small things. A drop of moisture, a patch of green, a moment of quiet. It doesn't demand abundance. It accepts what is there. Humans sometimes miss these small treasures because we're looking for bigger ones. We want a grand solution, a giant change, a dramatic transformation. Meanwhile, the rabbit is out here like, actually, one tiny cool leaf is kind of amazing. And it is. Tonight, you can borrow that perspective. Maybe you don't need huge answers right now. Maybe you only need small comforts, the weight of your blanket, the softness of the dark, the steadiness of your own breath. Inhale slowly and exhale gently. Let the dry air around you feel quiet, not empty. Let it feel like space, like room to rest. And if your mind is searching for something, offer it something small and soothing, a single image of dew on grass, cool and quiet, waiting in the moonlight. The rabbit nibbles again, slowly, contentedly, a tiny sip of the night's gentle gift, and you too can receive the night this way, one soft breath at a time, until sleep arrives like dew, without effort, without noise, simply resting where it is. In the quiet of the savannah night, scent becomes a kind of language, not a loud language. No punctuation marks, no exclamation points, more like gentle handwriting in the air. For a rabbit, the world is not only shapes and shadows, it is also a soft map of smells, a map that drifts and changes, but still tells a steady story. The rabbit pauses beside a low shrub. Its nose moves in tiny, almost invisible motions, as if it's reading a page that only it can see. The sand has its own scent, dry, warm, faintly mineral. The plant smells faintly green, slightly bitter, slightly sweet, and the air itself carries traces of the day that was, cooling into night. This is the rabbit's way of knowing, not thinking in sentences, but sensing. A scent can suggest where food might be, where a familiar path lies, where cool air gathers closer to the ground. It's like the landscape leaves little notes for the rabbit, and the rabbit politely reads them. Humans sometimes do this too, in our own way. A certain smell can bring you back to a moment. Rain on pavement, fresh laundry, tea leaves, the warm scent of a room at night. And suddenly your mind softens. because memory has arrived quietly, without knocking. The rabbit leans closer to the ground, its whiskers brush a stem, takes a slow breath in through its nose, and you can almost imagine the scent settling inside it, like a calm thought. Here, in this night world, scent travels differently. Cooler air can hold it lower to the ground. Wind can carry it in soft ribbons. Sometimes it lingers, sometimes it fades. And the rabbit doesn't seem bothered by that. It doesn't complain about inconsistency. It simply continues, gently adjusting, calmly noticing. Honestly, it's a masterclass in flexibility. The rabbit takes a few steps forward, pause, another slow sniff. A map made of sense is not a rigid map. It doesn't have straight lines. It has hurium, flow. And as you rest, you can let your own thoughts become like that. Not rigid routes, not hard plans, just a soft flow through your mind. If a thought appears, let it drift in like a scent on the wind. Notice it, then let it pass. No need to grip it, no need to chase it. Just inhale, exhale, release. The rabbit moves again, unhurried, following its invisible map, a map that does not shout, only whispers. And perhaps that's the kind of guidance you need tonight too. A whisper, a gentle direction, a quiet sense that you are okay where you are, and you can drift softly into rest. A rabbit's ears are like soft shapes drawn against the night. Two tall curves, sometimes upright, sometimes angled, sometimes moving, as if they're conducting an orchestra of tiny sounds. And somehow, even when they move, they don't look busy. They look calm. The rabbit sits in a patch of grass and turns its ears slowly, as if it's rotating them through the air like tuning knobs. Left, pause. Right, pause. The world offers small sounds, wind brushing a shrub, insects changing their rhythm, a distant hush that could be a bird settling. The rabbit receives it all without commentary. No panic, no inner narration. If rabbits had internal monologues, they would probably be brief and soothing. Sound, okay? Grass, nice. Napping soon, excellent. And there's a gentle science to these ears too. Their shape helps catch sound. Their ability to swivel helps locate where sound comes from. And their large surface can release heat, which is honestly unfair, because that means rabbits can cool down and look adorable at the same time. Meanwhile, humans are out here sweating and pretending it's a glow. Nature has favorites, and sometimes it's rabbits. But the main feeling of the ears tonight is not function, it's presence. The rabbit's ears remind us that awareness can be soft. You can be aware of the world without clenching your body. You can notice without bracing. You can listen without chasing. The rabbit's ears tilt, then settle. The body beneath them relaxes. The rabbit remains still, and the stillness feels active in a gentle way, not emptiness, but attention held lightly. As you listen to this narration, you might notice the same possibility in yourself. You can hear my voice and still let your body sink. You can notice sounds around you and still let your mind loosen. A soft awareness. If your thoughts begin to wander, that's natural. Let them wander like a quiet wind passing through grass. No need to call them back sharply. The rabbit turns its ears once more, slowly, then rests again. The night continues. The savanna keeps breathing, and you can take a slow breath too. In, out. Let your awareness become wide, like open sky. Let it hold everything gently, without effort, just as the rabbit's ears hold the night, quietly, patiently, as if listening itself can be a lullaby. Not all food in the savannah is lush. Sometimes it's modest, thin grass, small leaves, tender shoots that seem to offer themselves quietly. And the rabbit doesn't mind modest. It approaches a patch of green the way you might approach a simple bowl of warm rice. Not flashy, not complicated, but deeply comforting. The rabbit lowers its head and begins to nibble. Small bites, soft chewing, pauses between mouthfuls as if each bite deserves a moment of respect. And perhaps it does. In a dry landscape, green is more than color. Green can mean moisture. Green can mean nutrients. Green can mean a little softness in a world that often feels crisp and sandy. So the rabbit takes its time. A sip of green, in this sense, is not only about eating. It's about receiving what the land can offer without demanding more. And there's a quiet lesson in that. Not spoken, not forced, just present. The rabbit's mouth moves slowly. Its ears remain relaxed, slightly angled. Its body stays close to the ground, steady. There's no sense of rushing to finish, no sense of, I should be somewhere else. The rabbit is exactly where it needs to be. And if you've ever eaten while distracted, scrolling, thinking, worrying, you know how rare that feeling can be. The rabbit shows us a kind of mindful eating without calling it a trend. No hashtags. No 10 tips to chew slowly. Just a small animal doing what it naturally does, calmly. The grass bends slightly as the rabbit takes a few more bites. The wind moves through the patch, smoothing the stems. Insects sing softly in the background, like a gentle soundtrack that doesn't need to be curated. If rabbits made playlists, it would be 12 hours of wind plus crickets and one bonus track called Quiet Breathing. And tonight, that's enough. As you rest, imagine yourself taking in calm the same way the rabbit takes in green, slowly, in small portions, with pauses. You don't need to swallow the whole future tonight. You only need this moment. Inhale and exhale. Let the breath be your sip of green. A small, nourishing bit of steadiness. The rabbit finishes nibbling and lifts its head, chewing gently as it looks into the night. Moonlight touches its fur. The landscape remains soft, and your mind can remain soft too, quietly receiving, quietly releasing, until sleep feels close enough to touch. In the savannah at night, shadows don't feel scary. They feel like fabric, folded, layered, draped across the land. A shrub casts a darker patch on the sand. A clump of grass creates a soft blur of shade. And the rabbit, wise in its quiet way, seems to enjoy these half shadows. The rabbit settles near a small plant, not hidden completely, not exposed fully, just comfortably placed, as if it has found the perfect seat in a quiet room. Half shadow is gentle. It breaks up the brightness of the moon. It cools the air slightly. It makes the world feel softer around the edges. And softness is the rabbit's specialty. The rabbit lowers its body, tucking its paws in. Its breathing becomes even slower. Its ears loosen into a relaxed angle, still able to move if needed, but not constantly moving. This is a kind of resting that looks effortless. Humans sometimes try to rest while holding tension like a secret. We lie down, but keep our shoulders tight. We close our eyes, but keep our thoughts wide awake, holding meetings. The rabbit does not hold meetings. The rabbit's calendar is simply, now, rest, later, nibble, eventually, more rest. It's an elegant schedule, honestly. In this half shadow, the rabbit's fur blends with the ground and plants. The world becomes a gentle camouflage of tones: sand, silver grass, muted brown, soft gray. And something about that blending feels soothing. A reminder that you don't always need to stand out. You don't always need to be on. Sometimes, the best feeling is to be quietly part of the background, safe, held, unnoticed in the nicest way. The night air continues to cool. Insects keep their steady chorus. A distant breeze moves through the savanna like a slow sigh, and the rabbit remains still, as if it is listening to the land's lullaby. As you rest, you can borrow this half shadow too. Let your room dim in your mind. Let the edges of your thoughts blur. Let your body sink down into the place it's resting, as if the ground is gently supporting you. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently. You don't need full brightness tonight. You don't need full clarity. Half shadow is enough. Softness is enough. And like the rabbit, you can settle there, quietly, comfortably, until sleep begins to feel like a natural part of the landscape. The night has its own way of blinking, not with eyes, of course, but with changes so subtle they feel like a slow closing of lids. A breeze pauses, then returns. Insects shift their song slightly, like they're turning the page of a quiet book. The air cools another tiny degree. Everything happens gently, and the rabbit, still near its half shadow, becomes part of that slow blink. Sometimes the rabbit's eyes appear half-lidded, not asleep exactly, but softened, as if it's practicing the art of letting go without needing to announce it. A slow blink can be a signal of calm in many animals. It's a way of saying, I'm not in a hurry. A way of letting the world know, quietly, that the moment is safe enough to soften. And even if we don't speak that language perfectly, we can still feel it. The rabbit lifts its head slightly, then lowers it again. Its eyes blink once, slowly, like a leaf settling. In that blink, there is no effort, no push, no struggle, just the body doing what it naturally does when it begins to drift toward rest. Humans sometimes forget we can do that too. We try to force sleep, chase it, negotiate with it. We stare at the ceiling like it owes us answers. Meanwhile, the rabbit simply blinks and lets the night do the work. If your mind feels active right now, you can let this be your permission. You don't have to force anything. Try a slow blink of your own if your eyes are open, or imagine one if your eyes are closed. A soft closing, a soft opening, and then letting the eyelids rest heavier. The night continues its gentle blinking around you, wind easing, sound smoothing, air settling. The rabbit's ears remain relaxed. Its body stays tucked. Its breathing becomes a quiet pattern, like waves that are too small to count. And as you breathe with it, you may notice your thoughts losing their sharpness. Edges blur. Worries fade like footprints in cooling sand. The rabbit blinks again, slowly, and the moment feels even softer. Inhale and exhale. Let your mind blink too. Let it pause between thoughts. Let the quiet space expand. because sleep doesn't always arrive like a switch. Sometimes it arrives like the night itself, a slow, gentle blink that becomes longer and longer until you're simply resting inside it. The wind here doesn't shove. It doesn't insist. It moves like a slow hand smoothing the savanna's hair, combing through grass tips, lifting a few dry leaves, then letting them settle again as if nothing urgent ever happened. The rabbit sits low in the half shadow, and the wind passes over it gently. You can imagine the fur shifting slightly, like soft fabric stirred by breath. In a place that leans toward desert, wind carries small messages: coolness from a shaded hollow, a faint scent of distant plants, the dry mineral whisper of sand. And the rabbit receives all of it without fuss. Its ears tilt a little, then relax again. Its eyes soften. Its body remains tucked, steady, peaceful. It's a simple scene, but it feels like a lullaby made of air. Wind also shapes the land over time, but it does so with patience. Grain by grain. A little smoothing here, a little drifting there. It's the opposite of hurried change. If the wind had a motto, it might be, "Small steps are fine. I have all night. I have all century." Which is both reassuring and, frankly, a little intimidating. But tonight, we'll just take the reassuring part. The grass moves in slow waves, not the dramatic kind that look like a storm, more like quiet ripples, as if the savanna is breathing. And the rabbit, this small, listening creature, becomes part of that breathing. It doesn't fight the wind. It doesn't brace. It simply allows the air to pass. And as you listen, you can do the same. Let the breath you're taking now be like wind through grass, in and out, not pushed, not forced, just passing through. If a thought arrives, let it arrive like a leaf lifted gently, noticed, then set down again. The wind does not cling. It does not hold on to anything too tightly. It moves on, softly. The rabbit remains calm. It may shift its paws slightly, the smallest adjustment, then settle again. Nothing needs to be perfect for rest to happen. Only comfortable enough. And comfort is often just a series of small, gentle adjustments, like wind combing grass, like your body finding a better position in bed, like your mind loosening its grip. The savanna continues to breathe, the wind continues to smooth, and somewhere beneath the moon, a rabbit rests with the quiet confidence of an animal that knows the world can be soft. Tonight, let your world be soft too. The moon is not a loud timekeeper. It doesn't ring. It doesn't buzz. It doesn't demand that you make the most of your night. It simply moves slowly across the open sky, a pale clock with no numbers, only light. For the savanna, moonlight changes the shape of the world. Grass becomes silver at the edges. Sand brightens in gentle patches. Shadows stretch and soften like long, quiet sighs. And the rabbit's routines fit into this light as if they've been practicing for centuries, because, in a way, they have. A rabbit may choose certain movements at night, partly because the air is cooler, partly because the light is dim enough to feel safe, and partly because the whole world is simply quieter. The moon doesn't rush the rabbit doesn't rush the moon. They share the night politely. The rabbit shifts its body slightly, then pauses again. It seems to measure time not by minutes, but by comfort. Is the air cooler now? Is the ground softer now? Does this moment feel right? Humans often measure time by worry. How late is it? How much is left? What should I have done? The rabbit's clock is different. It's made of sensations, and perhaps tonight you can borrow that kind of clock too. Let time be measured by breath. Inhale and exhale. One breath is a small moon passing across your inner sky, quiet, steady, inevitable. The moonlight, meanwhile, continues its calm work, not changing the land drastically, only giving it a softer shape. And the rabbit's fur catches that light at the tips. A faint glow along the back. A soft highlight on an ear. It's almost as if the rabbit is wearing moonlight like a shawl. If you've had a day full of harsh lighting, screens, fluorescent rooms, bright pressure, imagine the moon offering you the opposite. Dim kindness. No judgment, no demands, just a gentle glow. The rabbit blinks slowly again. The savanna's sounds continue like a steady hush, and as the moon's pale clock continues moving, you don't have to use the time. You don't have to optimize the night. You can simply be here. Let the moon keep time for you. Let the rabbit keep rhythm for you. And let sleep arrive when it's ready, softly, quietly, as naturally as moonlight finding the ground. The rabbit finds another small patch of green, not huge, not dramatic, just enough. It lowers its head and begins to nibble, and what stands out most is not the eating itself, but the pauses. Nibble, pause, chew, pause, as if the rabbit knows that rushing would ruin the whole mood of the night. It's a calm kind of discipline. A rabbit's chewing is steady, rhythmic. It's not loud. It's not messy. It's almost soothing, like the sound of someone gently stirring a warm drink. These pauses between mouthfuls are not wasted time. They're part of the routine. The rabbit lifts its head slightly, listening with relaxed ears. Its whiskers tremble faintly. Then it returns to the grass, taking another small bite. And there's a quiet science to this too. Rabbits are herbivores, and plant material takes time to process. Their bodies are built for steady, repeated feeding rather than big, sudden meals. So the pauses make sense. Small amounts, gentle chewing, a slow pace that fits the body, and it also fits the feeling of the night. Humans sometimes eat like we're being timed. We chew while thinking about the next task. We swallow while reading a message. We barely notice the food, then wonder why we still feel restless. The rabbit notices. Every bite is small enough to be present with. Every pause is long enough to feel the air. If rabbits wrote self-help books, this chapter would be called "Stop Inhaling Your Dinner. The Moon is Watching." Not in a judgmental way, more like a gentle, amused reminder. The rabbit pauses again, chewing slowly, looking out into the dim grass. And as you rest, you can mirror that rhythm. Take a slow breath in, pause, and a slow breath out, pause. Breathing becomes your mouthful of calm. The pause becomes your gentle chewing. Nothing to rush, nothing to finish. The rabbit's body remains low and relaxed. It takes one more nibble, then sits still, as if satisfied with enough. Enough is a lovely word tonight. Enough breath, enough quiet, enough softness. And as the rabbit's pauses stretch a little longer, your own pauses can stretch too, until the spaces between thoughts become wider, and sleep feels closer, like a blanket settling into place without effort. There is a moment in many nights when everything softens even further. Insects may keep singing, but their chorus becomes smoother. The wind may still move, but it feels lighter. Even the air seems to lower its voice. The savanna doesn't fall silent. It simply becomes quieter. And the rabbit notices, not with alarm, not with tension, just with a subtle shift in posture, a slightly deeper tuck of the paws, a slightly slower blink, a slightly longer pause. Animals are often very good at sensing the volume of the world. They don't need clocks to know when the night is deepened. They feel it. The rabbit rests near the shrub, half shadowed, half lit. The moon has moved a little, changing the angle of light. The grass glows differently now, as if the night has rearranged the scene. And with that rearrangement comes a calm invitation. Settle deeper. The rabbit's breathing becomes even more regular. Its ears still move occasionally, but the movements are lazy, unhurried, like someone turning over in bed without waking fully. It's not trying to stay alert. It's simply staying connected, a gentle connection. Humans sometimes think rest means shutting everything off, but often, rest is more like turning the brightness down, turning the volume down, letting the system relax while still gently existing. That's what the rabbit is doing. The night gets quieter, and the rabbit becomes quieter with it. And you can too. Let your shoulders drop another fraction. Let your tongue rest in your mouth. Let your eyes feel heavy behind your eyelids. Inhale and exhale. If thoughts arise, they can arise softly, like distant sounds, not close enough to disturb you. You don't have to chase them. You don't have to solve them. Let them be part of the far background. The rabbit shifts slightly, then stills again. It seems content with the night's quieter tone, and there's something deeply reassuring about that. The idea that the world can grow quieter, and you don't have to do anything to make it happen. You only have to allow it. Allow the quiet to gather. Allow the darkness to feel gentle. Allow your breathing to become smooth and steady. The savanna continues its soft night life, but everything feels farther away now, more distant, more muffled, more like a dream. And as the rabbit rests in that quieter world, you can rest too, letting the night's calm deepen around you until sleep feels like the most natural thing in the world. The rabbit makes a small adjustment, not a big shift, not a sudden move, just a tiny repositioning of paws, a slight turn of the body, a gentle settling of fur, and then stillness again. It's remarkable how much calm can come from such small movements. In the savanna, animals often conserve energy by moving only as much as they need. Rabbits are masters of this. They don't waste effort. They don't do extra steps for style points. Their movements are economical, but not stiff, soft, measured, and quietly elegant. A rabbit may adjust its position to find the best patch of cool sand, or to face a direction that feels comfortable, or simply because the body enjoys settling into a new shape. And the rabbit doesn't overthink it. Humans sometimes overthink even how to lie down. Is this the right position? Should I switch sides? Is my pillow aligned with my destiny? The rabbit would respond kindly, "Please, just be comfortable." and then it would blink slowly, as if to say, "You're doing fine." Tiny movements are also how sleep begins. A shoulder relaxes, a leg shifts, a hand opens. Small adjustments that signal the nervous system. It's safe to soften. So as you listen, you can follow this rabbit lesson. Scan your body gently, no judgment, no pressure, and notice if anything wants to move just a little. Maybe your head wants a different angle. Maybe your hands want to rest differently. Maybe your jaw wants to unclench. Make one tiny adjustment, then return to stillness. Inhale and exhale. Feel how the body settles more deeply afterward, like sand smoothing around a footprint. The rabbit remains low and quiet. Its ears relax. Its eyes soften. It becomes part of the landscape again, a small, warm shape resting on cool earth. The night continues its slow rhythm, and the rabbit doesn't try to control it. It simply fits into it. Tiny movements, big calm. That might be all you need tonight. A small adjustment, a soft breath, a quiet pause, and then letting yourself sink into rest without effort. Like the rabbit, like the cooling sand, like the moonlight settling on grass. A shrub in the savanna doesn't look like much from far away. It's low and humble, a little uneven. A cluster of branches and leaves that seems to have chosen practicality over drama. But up close, a shrub is a whole little world. It creates a boundary, not a harsh wall, just a gentle edge where light changes, air cools slightly, and the ground feels different beneath it. The rabbit rests near this boundary as if it understands something we sometimes forget. Edges can be comforting. A boundary can mean, here is shade, here is shelter. Here's a place where the wind slows down a bit and the night feels softer. The rabbit's whiskers brush a twig. Its nose moves in tiny motions, sensing the plant's scent. Dry leaves, faint green, a whisper of dust. And then the rabbit settles again, content to be close to this small structure. In a landscape that leans toward desert, plants like shrubs often become quiet anchors. They hold soil in place. They catch bits of moisture. They create micro shadows, tiny patches of comfort where the heat and light shift. And animals notice, not with fanfare, just by choosing to sit nearby. If you imagine the rabbit's perspective, the shrub might feel like a gentle roof, not enough to block the whole sky, but enough to soften it. And there's a lovely thought there. You don't always need full protection. Sometimes you only need a little softening. A little shade for the mind, a little quiet for the heart. The rabbit's ears relax, its eyes blink slowly. The shrub's leaves barely move. The night air drifts through them like a slow sigh. And you might notice that your own body enjoys these gentle boundaries too. A blanket edge around your shoulders, a pillow supporting your head, the quiet boundary of your room holding you in. There is comfort in being contained, just enough. The rabbit shifts one paw, then stops. It breathes in and out and in again, small breaths that match the calm of the shrub's stillness. Nothing more is required. Tonight, let your thoughts rest near a boundary too, a soft edge where they don't have to keep expanding. You can let your mind be smaller now. You can let your world be simple. A shrub, a rabbit, moonlight, cooling sand, and you, resting gently in the quiet, finding comfort in the small edges that make the night feel safe. Earlier, the rabbit left soft prints in the sand, not deep, not dramatic, just little marks, like commas in a sentence the wind will eventually finish. And now, as the night continues, those footprints remain for a while, quietly existing behind the rabbit. The savanna holds memory in gentle ways, tracks in sand, bent blades of grass, a faint path through shrubs. Nothing permanent, but not meaningless either. A footprint is a small record that a living thing passed through a moment, a quiet proof of presence, and the rabbit doesn't seem attached to that proof. It doesn't turn around to admire its work. It doesn't post it anywhere. It simply continues and lets the land keep the memory for as long as it wants. In dry environments, tracks can linger until wind smooths them or another animal crosses. Sometimes they last a few hours, sometimes longer. And there's something soothing about that temporary memory, the idea that the world can remember you briefly and then let you go. Humans often struggle with this. We want permanence. We want our marks to stay. We want to control how we're remembered. But the sand teaches a softer lesson. A mark can be real, even if it fades. The rabbit pauses near the shrub. Its body remains quiet, a small, warm shape against cool earth. And behind it, the footprints rest like a gentle story. If you imagine the footprints, you can imagine the moments they represent. A slow step, a pause, a small drift forward. Not a chase, not a sprint, just quiet living. And maybe that's what makes them feel so peaceful. Tonight, you can think of your own day like that. Not a dramatic highlight reel, just steps and pauses. You don't have to keep every detail. You don't have to replay everything until it feels perfect. Let the day be a set of footprints that can soften. Inhale and exhale. A thought appears. A thought fades. Like wind brushing a track until it becomes smooth again. The rabbit doesn't worry about what the sand will look like tomorrow. It trusts the land to change gently, and you can trust your mind to do the same. Sleep is part of that smoothing process. It's the wind that softly erases sharp edges. It's the night that helps the nervous system loosen its grip. So as you rest, imagine your worries becoming lighter, your thoughts becoming faint, your inner sand becoming smooth. The rabbit's footprints will fade in time, and your thoughts too can fade, leaving only the quiet feeling of having been here and the softness of being allowed to rest. In the savanna, life doesn't feel like a competition tonight. It feels like a conversation, not a loud conversation, no debating, no interrupting, more like a gentle exchange of presence. Grass grows where it can, shrubs hold the soil, insects sing their steady songs. The wind moves through everything, touching each part lightly. And the rabbit is one small speaker in this quiet conversation. It nibbles a little, then pauses. It rests near shade, then drifts a little farther. Its life fits into the land like a softly placed stone fits into sand. And what the rabbit does, eating, resting, moving, connects to everything else, not in an anxious way, in a calm way. When a rabbit feeds on plants, it shapes which stems grow taller, which patches become thinner, which seeds may have room later. When it moves, it leaves tracks that might guide tiny insects or show paths through grass. Even the act of resting near a shrub can compress the sand slightly, changing the texture of the ground by a small amount. Everything is connected in quiet, ordinary ways. We often imagine ecosystems like dramatic stories, but most of the time, they're gentle patterns, small exchanges, repeated over and over until the landscape feels balanced. And balance doesn't mean perfect, it means responsive, a place that adjusts slowly, a place that holds itself together through countless small interactions, a quiet conversation. The rabbit lifts its head. Its ears tilt as the insect chorus shifts slightly. The rabbit doesn't react strongly. It simply notices, then returns to stillness. And as you listen, you can let this idea soothe you. You don't have to carry everything alone. Even your body is an ecosystem. Breath, heartbeat, muscles relaxing, nerves calming. Small systems working together without you micromanaging every detail. You don't have to supervise your own sleep. You can let your inner ecosystem do its quiet work. Inhale and exhale. Let your breath speak softly to your heart. Let your heartbeat answer calmly. Let your muscles loosen one by one, like grass bending in wind. The rabbit remains part of the savanna's conversation, a small creature listening and responding gently. And you can be part of the night's conversation too, not by doing anything, but by resting. Because rest is also a kind of participation, a quiet way of saying, I am here and I can soften. If you look closely at a rabbit, you can see the poetry of adaptation, not poetry with grand metaphors, poetry with small, practical lines written in fur, ears, and gentle habits. A rabbit's body fits its world. The fur insulates. The ears listen and release heat. The legs and paws move across sand and grass with quiet precision. The senses, smell, hearing, low-light vision, help it move through night without needing bright certainty, and none of it feels rushed. Adaptation is slow work. It happens over long time, quiet changes, repeated again and again, until a creature and a place match each other more closely. In the desert-leaning savanna, this match is visible in the rabbit's timing. The rabbit often prefers cooler hours. It rests when the heat is heavier. It feeds and drifts when the air becomes kind again. This is not strategy in the dramatic sense. It's simply fit. The rabbit is not fighting the environment. It is living with it gently. And that's why adaptation can feel so peaceful to watch. It's a reminder that change doesn't have to be loud. It can be quiet alignment. Humans sometimes treat change like a storm, something that must arrive suddenly, uprooting everything. But nature often changes like a slow sunrise, steady, patient, almost unnoticeable, until you realize the world is brighter. The rabbit's life is full of small adjustments, a burrow for cooler air, a pause for listening, a slow nibble for nourishment, a rest in half shadow. Adaptation looks like choosing what supports you. And maybe tonight, you can choose what supports you too. You don't need a dramatic transformation right now. You don't need to become a new person before morning. You only need a small alignment, a softer breath, a relaxed shoulder, a quieter mind. Inhale and exhale. Let your body adapt to rest. The rabbit's eyelids soften again. Its posture settles. It becomes still, as if the night itself is holding it. And the poetry of that is simple. A creature, a landscape, a rhythm. Nothing forced, nothing shouted, just quiet fitting. Tonight, let yourself fit into sleep the same way, gently, patiently, as if you were always meant to be here. In this dry-leaning savanna, you won't find moss everywhere, but we can still borrow moss as a symbol tonight because moss has a certain attitude that feels perfect for sleep. Moss never hurries. Moss is living proof that slow can still be wildly successful. And in a way, rabbits share a similar energy. Not the bounce around forever cartoon version, but the real, quiet rabbit energy. Move gently, pause often, rest deeply. The rabbit near the shrub seems to embody this. It doesn't force the night to happen faster. It doesn't demand a better moment. It simply takes the moment that exists and settles into it. If moss could clap, it would clap softly, like two tiny damp leaves touching. A very polite applause. The rabbit makes a small shift, then stills again. Its breathing remains steady. Its ears are relaxed, occasionally tilting as the insect chorus changes. And the savanna continues in its gentle way, wind smoothing grass, sand cooling, moonlight stretching thin across the ground. This is the kind of world where slowness makes sense. And maybe that's why it feels so soothing to imagine, because slowness gives the nervous system space. Space to unclench, space to release, space to stop performing. Humans are often trained to move quickly, even in our minds. We speed read our own worries. We sprint through our thoughts, but the rabbit doesn't sprint through thoughts. The rabbit doesn't even have a to-do list. The rabbit has a to-feel list. Cool air, soft sand, small nibble, rest, and that's enough. Tonight, you can let your own inner moss appear, a soft, slow layer of calm settling over your thoughts. Inhale and exhale. Imagine your mind being gently covered in softness, as if every sharp edge is padded, every noisy thought muffled. The rabbit blinks slowly again, like a sleepy punctuation mark. The world feels quieter now, not because anything dramatic changed, but because everything continued doing what it does, slowly. And that's the lesson moss would approve of. You don't have to rush into sleep. You can drift into it. You can let rest arrive like a soft green layer, gradually, quietly, without effort. The rabbit remains near the shrub, calm and small beneath the wide night. And you too can be calm and small right now, safe in your own quiet place, letting slowness do its gentle work. Not far from the rabbit's resting place, there may be an old branch, dry, pale, lying on the sand like a forgotten pencil. It doesn't look like much, but if you imagine it closely, you can almost see the story inside it. Wood holds memory in rings and fibers, a slow record of seasons, a gentle archive of rain and dryness, warmth and coolness. Nothing written loudly, just layers. In the savanna, trees and shrubs often grow with patience. They don't bloom in a hurry. They respond to what comes, moisture when it arrives, heat when it lingers, wind when it passes through. If you could look into a branch the way you look into a calm cup of tea, you might see how nature remembers without clinging. A ring forms, then another, then another. Not because the tree is trying to be impressive, but because time simply passes and the living thing responds. And nearby, the rabbit rests in its own quiet timeline. A small life, moving through small nights, following rhythms older than any calendar app. The rabbit's breath continues, soft, steady. The grass continues, silvered by moonlight. The sand continues, cooling slowly. Everything is recording something without trying. Sometimes we think memory must be sharp to be real. We think it must be detailed, vivid, perfectly preserved. But the savanna shows another kind of remembering. A gentle imprint, a softened trace. A story that doesn't need to stay crisp. A footprint fades, a ring remains. A wind-blown pattern smooths out, then returns in a different shape. And the rabbit doesn't seem troubled by any of it. It doesn't demand permanence. It lives inside change the way you live inside breathing, naturally, quietly, without needing a speech. If you've had a day that feels too full of remembering, too many thoughts replaying, you can borrow the branch's calm lesson. You don't have to polish every memory tonight. You don't have to sharpen every detail. Let your mind hold things the way wood holds rings, softly, layer by layer, without strain. Inhale and exhale. Feel time moving through you like a slow, warm current. Not pushing, not pulling, just passing. The rabbit shifts slightly, then stills again, as if it has decided the present moment is enough. And it is. Tonight, let the land remember gently. Let your mind remember gently. Let everything be allowed to soften at the edges, like moonlight on dry wood, like quiet rings inside a branch, like your thoughts settling into sleep. In the savanna, balance doesn't announce itself. It doesn't wear a badge. It doesn't post updates. It doesn't stand on a stage and say, "Hello everyone, I am balance." It simply happens, quietly, repeatedly. A soft give and take that looks almost ordinary until you realize how graceful it is. Plants grow where they can. They use sunlight, draw moisture, hold soil. Insects move through stems and leaves like tiny visitors. The wind passes through, carrying seeds now and then, as if delivering small parcels with no tracking number. And the rabbit, this calm little guest of the night, fits into the pattern without disrupting it. A few bites of grass, a pause, a rest in shade, a slow drift across cooling sand. Nothing excessive, nothing performative. In nature, enough is a powerful word. Balance often comes from feedback, small responses that guide the system gently. If a patch of grass grows thick, it may attract more nibbling. If the soil dries, plants adjust their growth, conserving moisture. If the air cools, animals become more active in softer hours. It's not a battle. It's a conversation of tiny adjustments. Like a mobile hanging above a crib, one piece shifts, and the others respond slowly until everything settles into a new, quiet arrangement. The rabbit's life is full of these adjustments, not dramatic ones, simple ones. Choosing a cooler time, choosing a familiar path, choosing the edge of a shrub shade. And in doing so, the rabbit shows us a gentle kind of intelligence, not thinking hard, but fitting well. Humans sometimes chase balance like it's a prize. We try to optimize it, schedule it, force it into a neat routine. Then we feel guilty if we don't balance correctly, as if balance is a test we forgot to study for. But the savanna's version of balance is kinder. It's responsive. It shifts. It forgives. It doesn't brag, and it doesn't demand perfection. The rabbit blinks slowly, resting near the shrub. Its ears remain relaxed. Its body looks comfortable. an animal shaped by a world that practices gentle balance nightly, and you can practice it too right now. Inhale and exhale. Balance your breath, not too deep, not too shallow, just steady. Balance your thoughts, not forced into silence, not racing, just drifting. If a worry arrives, let it arrive. If it fades, let it fade. The savanna doesn't panic when the wind changes. It adjusts. And tonight, you can adjust too, not by fixing everything, but by letting your nervous system settle into enough. Enough air, enough quiet, enough rest. Balance that doesn't brag, just holds you softly until sleep feels natural again. If the savanna could speak, it might whisper one gentle rule. Timing matters. Not in a stressful way, not in a don't be late way. More like, there is a time for warmth, a time for coolness, a time for stillness, and a time for a slow, quiet nibble. And the rabbit seems to understand this rule without ever writing it down. It doesn't force itself into the wrong hour. It doesn't insist on moving when the land feels heavy with heat. It waits for kinder air, softer ground, calmer light. This is timing as comfort. The rabbit's body is shaped for it. Ears that release heat, senses that work well in low light, a routine that leans into evening and night. It's not planning, it's simply belonging to a rhythm. Sometimes, the most restful thing in the world is to stop arguing with timing. We humans often try to live out of sync. We push through tiredness. We ignore hunger. We ask our minds to power down instantly after a day of bright screens and loud thoughts. And we wonder why sleep feels shy. The rabbit shows a softer approach. Invite sleep by matching the world's pace. Slow down when the night slows down. Settle when the air settles. The savanna is full of quiet timing cues. The way the temperature drops a little more. The way insect songs change pitch. The way moonlight shifts across the sand. The rabbit listens to these cues not as commands, but as gentle suggestions. And tonight, you can do the same. Notice your own cues. The heaviness in your eyelids, the softness in your limbs, the way your breath naturally lengthens when you stop thinking about it. You don't need to force yourself into sleep. You can let sleep meet you where you are. Inhale and exhale. Imagine time moving like a slow stream. You don't need to swim against it. You can float. The rabbit shifts slightly, then stills again, as if it has found the exact angle where comfort lives. That's timing too, the tiny timing of posture, the gentle timing of breath, the quiet timing of letting go. If you've been carrying thoughts that feel too bright, too sharp, too busy, let the night dim them gradually. You don't need instant quiet. You only need a slow fade. The rabbit's timing is simple. Move when it feels kind, rest when it feels right. And perhaps that's the soft genius you can borrow tonight. Let your body decide the pace. Let the night guide the rhythm. Let sleep arrive with good timing, not rushed, not pushed, just gently welcomed. In nature, so much comfort comes from returning patterns. The way night returns after day. The way coolness returns after warmth. The way the wind returns to comb the grass again and again. Never bored, never impatient. And in the rabbit's life, patterns return too. Familiar paths through grass. A known shrub with a friendly patch of shade. A burrow entrance like a quiet doorway to steadiness. The rabbit doesn't need novelty to feel alive. It needs rhythm, to feel at home. There's a calm reassurance in that. We often think home is a place, but in the savannah, home can also be a pattern, a sequence of moments that repeats gently. Nibble, pause, listen, rest. The rabbit's body remembers these sequences the way your body remembers how to sink into a pillow, not intellectually, physically, quietly, and the landscape supports it. Plants grow in familiar clusters. The ground holds familiar textures. Moonlight returns with its steady glow. Nothing is exactly the same each night, but it's similar enough to feel safe. That similar enough is a kind of kindness. Humans sometimes chase change so quickly that we forget how soothing repetition can be. We treat routine like it's boring. But routine can be a lullaby, a returning pattern that tells the nervous system, you've been here before, and it was okay. Tonight, you can let your own returning patterns soothe you. The familiar weight of the blanket, the familiar feeling of your bed supporting you, the familiar rhythm of breath. Inhale and exhale. Each breath is a return. Each exhale is a homecoming. The rabbit remains near the shrub, calm and small, as if it has tucked itself into a favorite corner of the world. And you can tuck yourself into your own quiet corner too. You don't need to reinvent yourself tonight. You don't need a new plan. You don't need to solve tomorrow. You only need to return to softness, to slowness, to the simple pattern of resting. The night continues its gentle cycle. Sounds remain low. The air remains kind. And the rabbit's eyes soften again, half-lidded, as if it trusts the pattern will hold. Let that trust rub off on you. Because sleep is also a returning pattern, a natural rhythm your body already knows. All you have to do is let yourself come home to it, again and again, until you drift fully into rest. The night has grown quieter now. The grass still moves, but more slowly. The insects still sing, but their chorus feels farther away, like music from another room. The sand has cooled into a steady comfort, and the rabbit, resting near the shrub's gentle boundary, seems to settle into an even deeper stillness. This is the moment when our earlier question returns, not loudly, not like a pop quiz, more like a remembered scent drifting back on the air. How do small creatures know when to be still and when to gently move? The rabbit doesn't answer in words. It answers by being. It has moved when the air felt kind. It has paused when the night felt full of listening. It has rested when the world softened its edges. And now it rests again, as if stillness has become the most natural choice. Maybe that's the quiet truth. They don't know the way we try to know. They feel the rhythm of the land, and they match it. The rabbit's breath is small and steady. Its ears remain relaxed, occasionally tilting as if acknowledging a sound, then letting it go. No overthinking, no chasing, just gentle alignment. And you can align too. If your mind has been moving, wandering, replaying, planning, you can let it slow down now, not by force, but by permission. Inhale and exhale. Let your thoughts loosen like dry leaves releasing from a branch. Let them drift, then settle somewhere quiet. The rabbit remains still, and nothing about that stillness feels empty. It feels full of comfort. The shrub's shadow holds the rabbit softly. The moonlight rests on the sand. The wind, when it comes, arrives like a whisper and leaves the same way. And you may notice your own body mirroring this. A deeper heaviness in the limbs, a softer jaw, a slower breath. This is descent, not falling, just drifting down into calm. The question lingers, but it no longer needs an answer. It has become a gentle companion, like the night itself. How do small creatures know when to be still and when to gently move? Perhaps the answer is simply, they listen, and then they rest. And tonight, you can do the same. Listen to the quiet. Listen to your breath. Listen to the softness arriving. Then let yourself settle, like the rabbit in half shadow, like the sand cooling, like the world easing its voice until sleep feels close. And everything becomes gently still. The wind has done its gentle work tonight. It has combed the grass, lifted a few grains of sand, and placed them down again without fuss. And now it seems to soften, as if even the air has decided to rest. In a desert-leaning savanna, sand is patient. It moves when it's moved, and then it settles again, smoothing itself into quiet shapes. That settling is not dramatic. It's a slow return to stillness, and the rabbit, tucked near the shrub's half-shadow, seems to follow the same rule. Move only when needed, then settle. The rabbit's body looks heavier now, as if sleep has begun to sprinkle a soft weight over it. Its paws are tucked in, its ears angled gently back, not alert, not tense, simply relaxed. Its breathing is small and steady. If you watch long enough, you may notice tiny movements, a whisker twitch, a slow blink, a subtle shift of fur. Not signs of wakefulness, more like the body's quiet housekeeping as it drifts deeper. And you can drift deeper too. Imagine your thoughts as grains of sand. At first, they may swirl a little, one idea bumping into another, worries rising like dust. But with each breath, the swirl can soften. Inhale and exhale. Let the dust settle. Let the grains fall into place. You don't have to grab your thoughts. You don't have to organize them into neat piles. You can simply let gravity do its gentle work. The savanna continues to hold you in imagination. Cooling sand, silvered grass, dim moonlight, the hush of insects like a faraway blanket of sound. And the rabbit remains calm, living proof that stillness is allowed. Humans sometimes resist settling. We stay mentally upright, as if we'll miss something if we relax. But what are we missing tonight? The night is not asking you to perform. The moon isn't grading you. The rabbit certainly isn't judging. The rabbit is busy being quietly excellent at napping. So you can let your body sink, let your shoulders melt downward, let your legs feel heavy, let your hands rest open, like they've stopped holding the day. Inhale and exhale. The sand settles after wind. The rabbit settles after nibbling. The savanna settles after heat. And you can settle after everything you've carried. Nothing to solve, nothing to chase. Just a slow descent into softness, as natural as the earth returning to quiet. Even in dry places, water leaves its memory. Sometimes there's a shallow dip where rain once gathered. Sometimes there's a distant stream that only appears in certain seasons. Sometimes there's simply the idea of water, a calm reminder that softness exists, and water has a way of smoothing itself. If you've ever looked at a pond at night, you know the feeling. The surface grows quiet, the ripples fade, and the water becomes a gentle mirror. Tonight, we borrow that smoothing quality. The rabbit rests near the shrub, still and tucked, as if its body has become a small, warm stone. Its breathing makes no ripples you can see, but inside, the rhythm continues, steady, calm, smoothing from within, and your breathing can smooth you too. Inhale slowly and exhale gently. Let the exhale be longer, like a ripple stretching out until it disappears. If thoughts appear, treat them like small ripples on water. They don't need to be chased. They don't need to be corrected. They can simply rise, then fade. The Savannah night supports this. Sound is low and consistent. Air is cooler now. The moonlight is softer, as if even the sky has turned down its brightness. The rabbit blinks, slowly, a movement so gentle it feels like the night blinking with it. And you may notice your own mind beginning to mirror that pace. Slower images, longer pauses, a softer sense of time. Water smoothing itself is not effort. It's the natural result of calm conditions. So tonight, you don't have to force calm. You only have to create conditions for it. A steady breath, a relaxed body, a gentle focus. You can imagine a quiet pool in your chest. With each inhale, the pool rises slightly. With each exhale, the pool settles back, smooth and still. Inhale and exhale. If there's tension in your jaw, let it dissolve like salt in water. If there's tightness in your shoulders, let it soften like fabric sinking beneath a gentle surface. If there's a busy thought, let it become a faint ripple, then disappear. The rabbit remains still, and the world remains kind. And as the night continues smoothing itself, like water becoming glass, you can let yourself become smooth too. No sharp edges, no hard corners, only softness, a quiet surface, a calm depth, a steady drift into sleep. Thoughts sometimes feel like threads. Some are thick and sturdy, like rope. Some are thin and delicate, like spider silk. And at night, especially at night, threads can tangle. But the savanna doesn't tangle itself into knots. It loosens. Wind moves through grass without grabbing it. Sand shifts without clinging. The rabbit rests without holding tension in its paws. So tonight, we practice loosening. The rabbit's body is tucked and quiet. Its eyes are soft. Its ears rest in a relaxed angle, as if they've decided the world is calm enough to stop monitoring every little sound. And you can let that calm be contagious. Notice a single thought thread in your mind. Don't pull it. Just notice it. Maybe it's a plan for tomorrow. Maybe it's a memory from today. Maybe it's nothing specific, just a vague mental hum. Now imagine that thread becoming looser. Not cut, not snapped, just relaxed. Like a ribbon slipping off a gift box. Inhale and exhale. With the exhale, let one thread loosen further. Let it fall where it wants, without you arranging it. The rabbit shifts slightly, perhaps a tiny movement of fur, and then returns to stillness, as if even small adjustments are now optional. The night becomes a softer container. Sounds feel farther away. Your breathing becomes more noticeable than your thinking, which is a lovely change. Sometimes people try to clear the mind, but clearing can sound like work, like sweeping, scrubbing, organizing. Loosening is kinder. Loosening is a gentle unraveling, a soft permission. If another thought thread appears, let it appear. Then let it loosen too. Inhale and exhale. Imagine your mind as a cloth laid out in moonlight. At first, it may have wrinkles and folds, but as you breathe, it smooths on its own, settling into a calmer shape. The rabbit's presence is steady, a small, warm point in the landscape. And your body can feel like that too, steady, warm, safe. Loose threads don't need to be tied tonight. They don't need to be woven into meaning. They can simply rest. The night is not asking you to be brilliant. It is asking you to be quiet. And even that is optional, because quiet will arrive naturally if you let the threads loosen. One slow breath, one soft exhale, and the mind begins to feel less like a tangled bundle, more like an open field, wide, dim, and gentle. The rabbit remains tucked, the savanna remains calm, and you too can remain, loosening, settling, drifting, until sleep takes over the threadwork entirely, and everything becomes beautifully simple. Now the night feels like it's leaning closer. The moonlight still touches the grass, but more softly. Shadows deepen around the shrubs. The air becomes even quieter, as if it has learned your breathing and decided to match it. The rabbit is almost completely still now. Not rigid, not tense, just resting. Its body is tucked like a small, warm pebble in the sand. Its ears are relaxed, no longer swiveling with curiosity. Its eyes are heavy-lidded, blinking slowly, as if each blink is a longer and longer pause. And the rabbit's breath remains steady. That steadiness is one of the simplest comforts nature offers. Breathing that continues without effort. Inhale and exhale. Let your breath be the main sound in your inner world. Everything else can fade to the edges. If you notice the room around you, let it feel distant, like the savanna's insect chorus, present, but not close enough to disturb you. The rabbit's quiet routines have guided us here, nibbling, listening, resting, settling. And now we arrive at the softest routine of all, doing nothing, just being. The fading light helps with that. In low light, details become less sharp, edges blur. The mind stops trying to catalog everything and begins to accept the gentle fog of rest. So let your thoughts blur too. Inhale and exhale. If you feel the need to think one more thing, you can let that thought float like a leaf on water. It can drift away without you following. The rabbit remains still. The shrub's shadow holds it. The ground beneath it is cool and steady, and you can imagine that same steadiness supporting you. The bed beneath you, the surface holding your weight, the quiet room holding your night, fading light, steady breath. This is where the world becomes simpler. No tasks, no plans, no urgency, just the gentle rhythm of air entering and leaving. Inhale and exhale. And if your mind begins to drift into dream shapes, soft images, half thoughts, let it. Dreams don't require effort. They arrive the way moonlight arrives, quietly, naturally. The rabbit has already begun its own drift, a small animal carried by the night. And you can be carried too, softly, steadily, into the calm that waits beneath every breath. There is a point in the night when even time feels slower. Not because the clock changes, but because the mind stops gripping each second. The savanna becomes a softer scene, grass barely moving, insect songs steady and distant, moonlight thin and pale, and the rabbit, tucked near the shrub, seems to melt into the landscape, not disappearing, just becoming deeply, comfortably still. Everything slows down. The rabbit's breathing remains small and regular, like a gentle tide. Its body doesn't shift anymore. Its ears rest as if they've decided listening can happen in dreams. And you can let your own body do the same. Notice how heavy your limbs feel now. Not heavy like burden, heavy like comfort, like a blanket settling and finally staying in place. Inhale and exhale. Let the exhale carry you downward, as if you're sinking into warm sand that cools perfectly around you. If thoughts still appear, they may appear more slowly now, like clouds in a sky with no wind. And you don't have to chase them. You can let them float by. The Savannah's lesson has been gentle all along. Move in small ways, rest often, listen softly, and let stillness become a home. The rabbit has done this without effort. Not because it's trying, because it belongs to the rhythm. And tonight, you belong to the rhythm of sleep. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to be perfect to receive it. Sleep is a returning pattern. Like night itself, inhale and exhale, everything slows down. And slowing down feels safe. The body knows what to do when it's allowed to soften. Heartbeat steadies, muscles release, breath becomes quiet. Even the face relaxes, forehead smoothing, eyes resting, jaw unclenching. The rabbit remains tucked and calm. The shrub's shadow is deep and gentle. The land holds everything without complaint. And as your mind begins to fade at the edges, you may notice moments of blankness, little gaps where you aren't thinking. Those gaps are doors. You can drift through them. One slow breath, one slow exhale. Everything slows down. And somewhere between the rabbit's stillness and your own, sleep begins to arrive, not as a sudden event, but as a soft continuation, a longer pause, a deeper quiet. Until you're not trying to sleep at all, you're simply sleeping, resting inside the calm rhythm of the wild. Now the savanna feels like it has settled into a final, quiet shape. The moonlight is thinner, softer, no longer outlining every blade of grass, just giving the world a gentle glow, like a dim lamp turned low. The air is calm. The wind, if it passes at all, does so with the gentlest touch, like a hand adjusting a blanket without waking anyone. And the rabbit remains tucked near the shrub, still and warm. It doesn't look like it is doing anything. It looks like it is being held by shadow, by cool sand, by the steady hush of the night. There's a kind of safety in this scene, a soft sense that everything has found its place. The shrub holds its small boundary. The grass holds its quiet shimmer. The insects hold their distant song, now more like a soothing hum than individual notes, and the night holds its shape, inhale and exhale. Let that phrase settle into you. The night holds its shape, because you too can be held by your bed, held by your breath, held by the simple fact that nothing is needed from you right now. If thoughts appear, they may feel faint, like faraway lights on a horizon. You can notice them without walking toward them. You can let them be distant. The rabbit's stillness is not emptiness. It is fullness without movement, a calm that doesn't need proof. And you may notice your own body entering that same kind of fullness, heaviness in the limbs, softness in the chest, a quiet ease behind the eyes. Inhale and exhale. Everything is gently repeating itself now. Breath, pause, breath, pause. A steady rhythm, like water smoothing itself, like sand settling after wind. The rabbit has become almost like a small stone, warm, quiet, resting. And stones have an ancient kind of calm. They do not hurry, they do not worry. They simply exist, patiently, through change. Even the stones seem relaxed. They've had practice. And with that tiny whisper of humor, we let the night continue doing its quiet work, holding the world in low light, holding small animals in shadow, holding you in comfort. Let the edges of your awareness blur. Let the scene become dreamlike. The night holds its shape, and you can rest inside it without effort, without thought, just a gentle drifting until sleep feels like the only thing happening. At the end of a calm night, repetition becomes a lullaby. Not repetition that feels boring, repetition that feels safe. The same hush, the same dim light, the same steady breath returning again and again. The rabbit remains tucked, still, peaceful. The insect chorus continues in the distance, a soft blanket of sound. The grass barely shifts. The sand feels smooth and cool, holding the day's warmth only as a faint memory. And your breathing continues, quietly repeating itself. Inhale and exhale. If you've ever listened to waves, you know how repetition soothes. Wave after wave, not trying to be different, not trying to impress, just returning, gently, until your mind stops needing to think. Tonight, the savanna is your ocean, wind is your wave, breath is your tide, silence is your shore. The rabbit's quiet routines, nibbling, listening, settling, have faded into pure rest. Now there is only the soft presence of life continuing without demand. And that is one of the sweetest truths nature offers. Life can be calm. It doesn't always have to be loud. It doesn't always have to be fast. Sometimes it can be a small animal sleeping near a shrub, a sky holding moonlight, a world repeating the same gentle rhythm. Inhale and exhale. Let the repetition carry you. If a thought arrives, let it arrive like a single insect note, then fade back into the chorus. If a memory appears, let it appear like a star, distant, quiet, not asking anything from you. You don't need to hold on to your awareness tightly now. You can loosen it. Let your mind widen, then dim, like a lantern being turned down until it's only a soft glow. The rabbit's stillness remains in the background, a quiet companion, a reminder that rest is natural, that sleep is not a task, that you don't have to earn this. Inhale and exhale, and in the repetition of breath, the world becomes simpler. No questions to answer, no plans to build, no urgency to obey, just the gentle returning of calm, again and again, until the lullaby of repetition becomes so soft, so familiar, that it disappears into sleep. The night is very quiet now. Moonlight rests lightly on the savanna, as if it is careful not to disturb anything. The shrubs stand still. The grass holds its faint shimmer. The air feels smooth, cool, and gentle, and the rabbit remains tucked near its small boundary of shade, so still it seems like part of the earth itself. Breathing continues, that simple motion, in and out, a slow tide inside the body. The savanna has been breathing too all night, warming, cooling, softening, settling, a rhythm that never needed instructions. And now, everything feels like it is returning home. The question from earlier has faded into the background, no longer something to consider, only something to feel. Stillness and gentle movement, both belonging to the same quiet flow. The rabbit has moved when it felt kind. It has paused when it felt right. It has rested when the world became soft enough to hold it. And you have done the same. You have drifted through moonlight and grass, through cooling sand and quiet air. You have followed a gentle pace, letting your thoughts loosen, letting your body settle. Now, there is nothing left to do. Inhale and exhale. Let the exhale be a long, soft release. If you notice your surroundings, let them feel far away. If you notice your thoughts, let them feel faint, like distant stars. If you notice your body, let it feel heavy and safe, held by the surface beneath you. The wild continues quietly, not as a story of rush, but as a soft continuation. The rabbit sleeps, the grass rests, the night holds, and you can rest too. Breath by breath, pause by pause, the world becomes less detailed, more dreamlike, more gentle. Everything flows through the wild. Everything flows through you. And now we close as softly as we began, with the night's calm motion carrying you onward, into deeper quiet, into easy darkness, into sleep. Everything flows through the wild. Sleep in that motion.